Chalo, we'll start today's class. Let me share the screen. This book I was talking. Hope it's visible. Good. Great. Date is 4th April. Class will be of 1 hour. By 10 will be off. So, and we will be focusing those topic what we had planned in last class. So somebody will tell what are the topics we were supposed to do. Fifth class, na? Indian economy. Can someone just tell the topic? Okay, PU tax. That is externality wala. Okay, externality. We'll do externality again. Class we did not do. Yeah, in a proper way. With diagram we'll do now. Incidence of tax. Please write it down. This we'll do in micro session with microeconomics. Please note it down. I still remember what topic still we left. We also did not do like Mundell-Fleming. We also did not do Solow model. And please note this point, incidence of tax. Incidence of tax will do in microeconomics. That is the portion of microeconomics in fact. Next, 15th Finance Commission, right? 15th, 14th Finance Commission and horizontal and vertical tax division. Tax division. That is fiscal federalism. Like these were the topics we were supposed to do. Anything else? अच्छा चलो हाँ, budget making process. One exclusive class will have budget on eco survey. So चलो, these are the topics. Coase theorem, exactly. Thank you for reminding. Moral hazard. So basically all about market failure, right? Market failure. This is the part of your syllabus also. Let me start with the market failure. Good evening, Sanjeev. Can someone tell what is market failure? Anyone? What do you mean by market failure? Any idea? Just tell anything, whatever you know. That is the rough way. In general sense you can understand, but that's not correct. See, in true sense, when there is, first you should know what is Pareto optimality. Anyone? No. You confused. I am asking Pareto optimality. One is Pareto improvement. There is a difference. See, there is a two person, A and B. A is very rich, B is very poor. So it is said that if some money, A is very rich, if some money A gives to B, A will become also rich and B will become also rich and A will be still richer because only some money he is giving by way of distribution of income, taxation and so many things. This is the duty of government. So government also tries to ensure Pareto optimality. So in this case what will happen? It will be also in the good position, B will be also in the good position and our optimal level will increase from this one to this one. So this is called Pareto improvement. Pareto improvement. But when it is impossible to make someone better off without making someone worse off, Suppose that you have 5 books of economics and somebody has only 2 books of economics, like only micro and macro. If this person B or A wants more book, so he or she has to take 1 or 2 books from someone. So if 2 books given here, it will be only 3. Here B has 4, total 4 books. So it is getting better off. Better off means something getting better, something improvement by making someone worse off. Worse off means इसका स्थिति थोड़ा खराब हो गया है, deteriorating the someone's condition. That is called worse off. So it is called Pareto optimality. Pareto optimality does not mean equality in the market. Always remember, Pareto optimality does not mean in the market. It means with the given resources, if somebody is at equilibrium, this does not mean it ensures equality. Simply it says Pareto optimality is ensured when someone cannot be made better off without making someone worse off. But if such situation is applied, then you can say it is not Pareto optimality. In microeconomics, that will understand, like in this case, if there is a marginal cost of product A is equal to marginal cost of product B, we say that both are in equilibrium. So how to this? So you might have seen this curve, right? What does point C shows? Anyone? A and B is PPF. What is PPF? Production possibility curve, or also it is known as endowment curve. Am I audible? Can someone tell? These 3 points are tangent. What are these points? So this is indifference curve. This is your budget line. You can just connect it there. This will be here. Okay, no problem. And this is your indifference curve. And this is your PPF. Can someone tell at this point what will be the situation? Anyone? If you see, someone trying to say, please go ahead. Yaku? Am I audible or not? Where did we stop? Can someone tell? So can someone tell at this equilibrium point what is the condition for equilibrium? Be fast. We have to be little fast. So many syllabus we have to cover. Anyone? Please. At equilibrium, if you read in budget line equilibrium, if there is situation like this, this is your budget line and this is your indifference curve. At this point, now I am audible. Can someone tell this is the equilibrium point? What is the point for this equilibrium condition? MRS is equals to price ratio, right? I am asking. I did not explain anything. I am just asking. At this point, what is the equilibrium condition? You might have read in budget line chapter in microeconomics, and I presume that everybody has done your basics microeconomics in your class. So under Pareto optimality condition, at this point, can someone tell what is the condition for equilibrium? This point is known as Pareto optimal condition because all the 3 lines, this is called PPF. What is the slope of PPF? Anyone? Anyone? Marginal cost of A upon marginal cost upon B is equals to, this is indifference curve, that is marginal rate of substitution. This is budget line. MRT, yes. We'll come back to. In micro, we'll study in deep. Just for basic, you should understand. So when all these curves lie at this point, this is called Pareto optimal condition. Now the problem happens when market fails. When market fails. In economics, when we have a condition like number 1, if there is absence of perfect competition. Can someone tell 3-4 features of perfect competition? That is one way. The best example for perfect competition is MR equals to MC. Got it? Which is equals to AR equals to price. That will understand in microeconomics. Just basic you should know. So if there is divergence in MR and MC, we can say there is absence of perfect competition and market fails. Or if marginal rate of substitution of product A is greater than or not equals to marginal rate of substitution for product B, then we can say market fails. So there could be any reason. So any of if any of feature, if I am not audible, please at least message me. If any of feature is absent, then we of any of feature of perfect competition is absent, then we can say that market fails. Now the problem arises, why market fails? Please note it down. Few reasons. Can someone tell? Yes. Number 1 is externality. Number 2? Yes, asymmetric information. Number 3, public good. Number 4, that is the part will hinder the public good. Number 4 is monopoly. Yeah, imperfect competition. So these are the basic reasons which causes failure of markets. So first we'll see externality. Externality में क्या होता है? ये last class we also see there is a divergence between marginal private cost and marginal social cost. So let us start externality first. So first we have externality. Basics we know already. We have done 2 times. Consumption externality. Whosoever has not attended, first request is please watch all 15 class in sequence. It should be in sequence. All 15 class. Then it would be more reconnected. In externality, what happens? That time, day before yesterday, we were just drawing a graph. That time I could not explain because of paucity of time. So suppose that this is your demand curve for externality in public good, or this is called marginal benefit. Always remember, sigma marginal benefit is demand curve. We'll also see how demand curve is obtained from. Always remember one thing here I'm putting. In private good. In private good means whatever you purchase from the market, all the features we know, exclusion principle and rival principle. In private good, how you get market demand or how you get aggregate demand? Summation of individual demand. Like here if you have demand curve for A, demand curve for B, this will be demand curve for A plus B. Is it clear? Like this demand curve is for A, this demand curve is for B, this is your price, this is your quantity. So how will you get market demand? So market demand is nothing but summation of all individuals, individual A, individual B. So that is market demand curve. That is horizontal summation. Please remember. Am I audible? So please note it down. In private good, horizontal summation of all individuals gives aggregate market demand. In case of private good you know, simply market oriented, any kind of deal is known as private good. You go purchase the things, that is called private good. But in case of what? हाँ, A 10 एप्पल खरीदा, B 10 एप्पल खरीदा, टोटल मार्केट डिमांड कितना हो गया? 20 एप्पल. That's it. That is A plus B. Horizontal summation of individual demand is known as market demand. Simple. But in public good, it's not like that. In public good, vertical summation. Please note it down. Vertical summation. Why vertical summation? Because marginal cost is 0. Suppose that there is a road. Okay. And some extra is walking. Next day I was walking. Next day some other person was walking. And on the same day everybody was walking. So is there any extra cost that government or contractor has to bear? No, only one time cost. But in market, if somebody is purchasing 10 apples market has to produce 10 extra apples so that other could purchase. Got it? So in road case, in public goods, it's not like that. So always remember, you please read externality chapter, very good, given in HL Ahuja, I think chapter number 63 or 64. HL Ahuja PDF I sent you, advanced economy. So there what happens, you take vertical summation. Diagram I may not draw perfect, like this is vertical summation. So how will you get? So if there is a, this is your aggregate demand, this is A, this is B, and A plus B, A plus B is equals to aggregate demand, and this is vertical. This is your total demand, and in public good it is not called total demand, but it is called marginal benefit. So marginal benefit of A, marginal benefit of A, marginal benefit of B is known as total demand. That is called vertical summation. This much and this much. Why such so? Because there is a zero marginal cost. Is it clear? Please read books once, and after reading book, again if you have same doubt, as I told you, we'll teach externality chapter. These things are given in public good and externality. Without reading book, it is very difficult to understand. Once you read books, not twice even, just once you read. If you have problem, please send the screenshot of those things and we'll explain in the group also. तो अभी के लिए आपको यह याद रखना है कि हॉरिजॉन्टल समेशन में प्राइवेट गुड होगा और वर्टिकल समेशन होगा आपका मार्जिनल बेनिफिट, दैट इज पब्लिक गुड. Now coming to important thing, and somebody was asking ki sir do slow. That's why I provide you recording. In case if you find any kind of difficulty, you can pause the video and you can re-listen. In class if you don't understand, as Samiksha asked, you can again re-ask me, no problem. Is it clear? Now coming to the diagram portion. So in last class just we saw this is your this market demand, that is marginal benefit demand curve, and this is your this marginal private cost. Simple. Suppose that there is a industry and it is polluting industry. Okay, so this is demand curve, this is supply curve, it is also known as supply curve, upward sloping. Here what happened, you thought that this is our equilibrium point, but because of pollution there are so many diseases and society has to bear, that is called social cost. Society has to bear in terms of medicine, in terms of regular checkup, in terms of health disease. So this causes higher cost. So higher cost means leftward shift of supply curve, that is called social private cost or social marginal cost, SMC. Sorry, I think. Am I audible? Please. ये समझना ध्यान से. This is very important point. So here what happened, this used to be the equilibrium point, this point, but in a real sense equilibrium by society will be here. This is called ES, society equilibrium. This is called EP, private equilibrium, and in actual term quantity will be consumed by society here, but the industry or the market will produce here. So there is a problem of overproduction, isn't that? Overproduction. How overproduction? Society is only consuming this only because of health issue. They are spending more, so they cannot cross beyond this line, but a private party is producing this much money, and this is known as because of negative externality. So how they can compensate? So government will impose tax, that is called PIGU tax. So this can be done by two ways. So if government imposes tax, this will shift leftward. In generally in pollution creating substance, whenever there is a tax imposed, it is called PIGU tax. In PIGU tax, it is always imposed on private party, that is industry, which is marginal private cost. So this curve will shift leftward. So if curve will shift leftward, this will coincide here and will have equilibrium. Then there is a no problem of overproduction or underproduction. Please note it down. This diagram you can see in video also, and if you have made, it's clear. There is one more similar diagram. Here I am drawing. Suppose that this time what happened, there is a positive externality. In positive externality what happened, society will consume more. This is private cost, this is social cost, social marginal cost, social private cost, you just put, and this is marginal benefit. Okay, so here they are producing this much. Suppose that there is a in Delhi there is a air polluter kind of things. Can someone tell the name for making air pollution free? Anyone from Delhi right now having class? Out of 49 students. That is called many a place in Delhi there air purifier plant is there. You might be knowing. Yes, yeah, yes, true. So in that way, what happens? Private player is whatever producing, but near to that, other people are also getting benefit. But they people are not paying to those person because it is free of cost. So you can say it free rider also. So their cost is less. So because of that, they are consuming here. But in real sense, their production is here, but they are consuming here. Okay, so here there is a lack of problem. This is called under production. So always remember, in positive externality there will be under production. Please note it down. They can ask you in match the following. In negative externality there is a overproduction. Got it? Because in overproduction society don't consume, so there is overproduction. If society consume more than that, there is a underproduction. Underproduction by private player. Please read book H.L. Ahuja. Very beautifully given. H.L. Ahuja. Best book for these chapters. H.L. Ahuja, chapter number I think 63 or 64. Just you write, there is a public good, externality, ego tax, moral hazard, asymmetric information. All these key important points are given there. So this was all about mainly externality. Now problem happens about Coase theorem. Coase theorem says that, okay, Coase theorem says that suppose that two party, part A and part B. Part A is a, let's say any example like he likes music and DJ, okay, and part B is like advocate or student, so he is studying. What happened? Am I audible? Coase theorem says that if there is a private party and their property right is defined, so part B is staying in the home, part A is staying in the home, and there is a wall. That separation wall has broken down because of earthquake came and it got separated. This got broken down. So if he plays music, DJ, because he is a composer, so he got disturbed and this student has complained him, please put a wall here, and this wall production cost is 20,000 rupees. And this student is saying, I cannot change my home, here it is my home, if I will shift somewhere that will cost me 30,000 per month for the renting house and all, so better I have to stay here. Now what Coase theorem says, he says that both party will come to a negotiation and deal will be made. The deal will be made that this person, if A makes wall, it will be 20,000. If B leaves the home, it will be 30,000. So what would be profitable? Can someone tell? Anyone? Here is a negative externality because if he plays music, B is getting negative externality because of his music thing. He cannot study. He is, he has exam and all. So ultimate decision what will happen? A will say, no, why would I spend 20,000? I want to stamp your study. You know who the hell are you? I don't know you. I will enjoy my music, my own life, no problem. Then they will come to negotiation and they will say, okay, 10,000 you put, 10,000 I will put, and let's build a wall. Wall is built in 20,000. So here B could have spent 30,000, but now he has to spend 10,000. So 20,000 he saved to construct a wall. This DJ music player, he also saved 10,000. So in this way, both got benefited. This is called win-win situation. So this negotiation, such types of negotiation was given by Coase theorem. Coase theorem is not in your syllabus, just basic you should know. Is it clear? Anyone understood or not? Just reply yes or no. It was very easy. Just simply saying coming to the market equilibrium after the means of negotiation so that both will get benefited and externality can be removed. So externality is nothing. If person A's action is creating problem to B, suppose that person A is smoking and B is not smoker, so B will be in trouble. So that is called externality. Person B was studying, person A was not allowing him study because of music and DJ thing. Now both got at equilibrium and both has the win-win situation. That was called a Coase theorem. Now important thing is one more term, moral hazard. Can someone tell what is moral hazard? Anyone? Please. Who says ki, one second, let me see the list. I think not there. Who said moral hazard and all? What is anyone? कोई कुछ भी बोलो भाई प्लीज. हम्म. हाँ. Are you sure? See, moral plus hazard. Anyone know about health insurance? It is very relevant in health insurance. Yes, in very much in health insurance or bike insurance or car insurance. So what happened in health insurance? Doctor and company, they tie up and all whatever they do, we don't know. So insurance company says that if person A becomes ill for anything, maybe influenza, maybe cold, maybe any disease, so this the stakeholder means who is getting the benefit of that insurance. Suppose that person B, person A is insurance and person B is who is purchasing that insurance. So person B will become reckless. Reckless means laparwa, means not caring about his health. Why? Because he thinks I will get free cure in the related hospital which has association with the doctor and the insurance. So he will get free checkup, free medical insurance and everything free. So this person B will be little bit careless and he won't care about his food habit. He won't care about it is cold or hot or it is winter season or it is like a rainy season. So he will enjoy his all the freedom, and one day what happened, he got influenza, some basic cold happened. He went to the insurance and there he put around 50,000 bill because some other things also happened, and this bill wholly paid by insurance company. This is called moral hazard. Morally you are doing wrong, morally it is wrong. In the wake of insurance he thought ki I will enjoy my life. So let's take one more example. Car. A guy, person A or B purchased a new car and car insurance was of 5 lakh rupees, and if he hit a car and car got crashed or accident, he will get 5 lakh rupees in case of car accident. So person B, what he did, he started doing rush driving and so many accidents happened, and all together what happened, whatever bill produced by the company and all, everything was beared by insurance company. Why he did, person B, why he did rush driving or why he did like intentionally car accident and all? Because there was insurance. Anything happens, I will get free insurance. So such kind of activities by the stakeholders, by the consumers, by the customers or by the car person holders are known as moral hazard. Moral means morally you did hazard. Hazard means wrong thing which is negative to your life. Is it clear to everyone? Morally you did wrong, however legally, officially or financially you did correct because you have insurance, so you have freedom to enjoy the car service or health insurance, but morally it is hazardous, that could cost someone's life also. So this is known as moral hazard. Am I clear or still I need to repeat? Please. Clear, good. अब समझ में आया क्या है moral hazard? So question is asked that which of the following sector is related to moral hazard. So they will give education, they will give insurance, they will give government sector. So always you should put in insurance. Moral hazard is very much relevant in 70% of cases in medical insurance. Always remember. तो चलो ये टॉपिक हो गया. Asymmetric information, nothing new. Asymmetric information is classic example of lemon market. What is lemon market? Anyone? Where second hand market is known as lemon market. In USA mainly car is known as lemon market. So in India and all you will see there is a Chinese bazaar, China bazaar or something like that in Delhi also. So there what happened, you get second hand item at very cheap rate. It replaces the new products. Even new and quality products you launched in the market, their value will be very less and customer will say I need in second hand. Why such happens? Because of asymmetric information. There is a information gap between the producer and consumer, and this gap can be minimized by signaling. Please remember signaling. How? By advertisement, by giving signal that our product is positive, our product is best. So we need advertisement. That's why it is known as signaling between the company and the market. So signaling helps in removing asymmetric information. Asymmetric information means having not same information between producer and consumer. That means there is a absence of same information, not same information between producer and consumer is known as asymmetric. Simple. Please read chapter number I think 64 or 65. Index is given there. Just all topics, whatever we read, asymmetric information, moral hazard, externality, public good. In one chapter only, I think 6-7 pages are there. Very beautifully explained and very theoretical in nature, nothing even mathematical. So you will easily understand. If you don't find something need to understood, so please text me or send the photo in the group. You will definitely understood. So let us start fiscal federalism. However, basics fiscal federalism we did. Fiscal federalism is nothing but the relationship between center and state about finance. So this is known as fiscal federalism. Most of you would be knowing we have a finance commission. Can someone tell the article number? Finance commission is constitutional body. You should know. It is constitutional body. Please remember. Can someone tell what is constitutional body? Anyone? No idea. Please. No, wrong. Anything which is written in the constitution article, that is known as constitutional body. Chalo, for example, is NTA constitutional body? Correct. But finance commission is constitutional body because our Indian constitution article number 280 says that, please remember, match the following, they can ask. Article 280 says that after every 5 years, who appoints finance commission? Anyone? Anyone? Wrong. President. President appoints finance commission after every 5 years. Who is the finance commission right now? Am I right? Oh my God, who said Nirmala Sitharaman? That is finance minister. Please don't do mistake. 15th finance commission we have, and always remember finance commission is always a recommendatory body. They only recommend. They are only advisory body. Advise. It is not mandatory body. So whatever they are saying, government, our Modi or whatever, generally cabinet affairs, cabinet committee takes decision, whose head is always PM. So they take decision and it is not mandatory in nature. So 15th finance commission, when it was formed, anyone? Anyone? 2020 to 21, new is 21 to 26. Its tenure is 5 year, 26 because of COVID 1 year extension. So first finance commission chairman was who? Finance commission chairman? Anyone? No idea. Please recollect these things we are doing for so long. I think 1 or 2 weeks. Yes. Yes. Please remember they can ask. AC Nyogi, first finance commission. He was on I think 1951. And right now we have 15th finance commission. So what happens? There is a total collection of tax and all. Total collection of revenue will write. Total collection of revenue. There is a government. It is called central government. And in central government, it has 28 sons. Okay. 2, 3, like that. So many. That is called state. Now the problem happens. How much money central government should give to the state? Who will decide? That is recommended by finance commission. So 15th finance commission, how much suggested? Anyone? 40. Yes. 14th finance commission, how much? Both you should know. 42%. It was 14th finance commission was 2015 to 20, and 15th finance commission was 2021 to 26. 1 year it has extra because of COVID thing. 20 to 21 it was also there, but 21 to 26 it is his official tenure. It suggested 41% for the finance commission, and they kept 1% extra for the newly formed. You should know that we have two latest union territory. Can someone tell? Two latest union. Exactly. Very good. Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh. So for these two things, anybody in class from Jammu or Kashmir? Anyone here present? Anjum? Hello? I think she is not with us. Anyway. Yeah, she is there. So I think she is from there. So 1% they kept for Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh region, because whatever if election happens and whatever development project or whatever tax is needed, so from this 1% of government corpus, so that they could devolve, and 41% for other 28 states. So total tax collection happens if there is a two kind of division. Always remember, 15th Finance Commission or any finance commission has set two kinds of division. One is vertical division, another is horizontal division. What is it? Anyone? Horizontal division. Anyone? What is vertical and what is horizontal division? Anyone? Very good. If central taxes or center to states come, that is called vertical division. So vertical division is 41%. Please remember, vertical division is 41%. And among states, A state, B state, C state, D state, total among states, that is called horizontal division. Is it clear? Among states is called horizontal division, and from centers to states if money comes, that is vertical division. So 15th Finance Commission has also set formula, not 15th, every Finance Commission has said. So vertical division is simple, from upper to center to state it will come 40. But how those 41% will be distributed among state, that is called Finance Commission tax devolution formula. And now we will see this formula. So no need to be that much technical. They have divided, we'll write here 14th Finance Commission also and 15th Finance Commission also. Okay. So they have given certain set of formula. So first they have like taken income distance. Income distance means state which has less or more income distance from the highest per capita. Can someone tell which state has highest per capita income? Anyone? Sure. Goa. Yeah, Goa, because of less population. So Goa has maximum, suppose that if 5 lakh per person, and Bihar has, always remember, match the following they can ask. Bihar has the least per capita income. So they will take income distance. How much income per capita income is, distance means gap from Goa to Bihar. So in this way Bihar will get some extra point. And whatever amount they will get, suppose that if Bihar is getting 100 rupees, so out of 100 rupees, 50 rupees will be given for the income distance. So last year in 14th Finance Commission, income distance was 50%. No need to mug up that much, just basic you should know. And in 15th Finance Commission, only 45% they have given. Then you have, let me page this. After income distance, they have area of area of state. Which is the largest area in state? Exactly. Area wise, last year it was 15%. This year also it is 15%. So total it should be 100. Any number among total is 100. Okay. Then we have, I think, few more population. Yeah. In population wise, in till 14th Finance Commission, population was taken, base year was 1971. And they used to take 17.5%, but this year no, nothing, because we have replaced population with 2011. Sorry, 201. Yeah, 2011 population. According to 2011 population, 10% income will be given to those state which has more. If there is a more, you will get more. If you have less, you will get less. How it is included? So suppose that you have 20 crore of population. So of total income, whatever amount you are assigned, that is assigned by Finance Commission and Center. We don't need to go in that detail. So if you have larger population, you will get more. If suppose that a person acquires 10% of 100, that is 10, If a person acquires 10% of 20, that is 20 in absolute term. So we are taking in the percentage term, that is 10%. So UP used to get maximum in terms of population. For this time, earlier it was no for 1271. For 15th Finance Commission, I think for this they have given 15%. Few other things, let me just minimize so that it would be visible to everyone. After this, there are similar things. I think like forest and ecology is there. Then tax and fiscal efforts are also there. I will send the notes of it, but you must remember for 15th Finance Commission. Please note it down. So for 15th Finance Commission, you must remember. And the new things which is added in the 15th Finance Commission, that is demographic performance. So demographic performance is what? So that was the debate. If question is asked that why South India and North India was in the tussle, because Finance Commission said if there is a high population, you will get more in tax distribution. So what happened? UP and Bihar has very high population, but one criteria they have added, demographic performance. If your TFR is less, I taught that day, TFR means total fertility rate. If your TFR is less, then you will get some extra advantage. So 12.5%, this is newly added. If question is asked that what is the newly added tax formula for the distribution, that is demographic performance. So if you have less TFR, that means you did very good in demography and population control, then you will get some extra 12.5%. And fiscal effort, last comes. I will send you the notes of these things, don't worry. Fiscal effort 2.5%. In 14th it was nothing, but in 15th it is. So if you add together, it will be 100%. That is called horizontal division. And apart from all this, to like some specific sector, Finance Commission has also given 49,000 crore rupees for like water, sanitation, and some other public health facilities. So this was all about basic Finance Commission that you should know, and please refer my notes also. However, let me enlarge. However, you should know, please note it down, 14th Finance Commission, please you can get from Google and all. I will send 14th and 15th Finance Commission ka tax distribution. I have made in my notes. I am unable to find that where I kept. I will send you. So tax formula you should remember. They can ask that for how much for 15th Finance Commission, how much demographic performance percentage is given. So you should know it is 12.5%. ठीक है गौरव, एनी डाउट फ्रॉम टुडेज क्लास? विल वाइंड अप द क्लास, ठीक है ना? हाँ, नेक्स्ट क्लास में अब मैं बता देता हूं, नेक्स्ट क्लास जो अपना होगा, वन मोर इंडियन इकोनॉमी क्लास, दैट विल बी नेक्स्ट क्लास वेयर वी विल बी डूइंग आई थिंक कोर पब्लिक फाइनेंस एंड न्यू इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स ऑफ, where we will be seeing what we will see. This class will of little large, 1.5 hours, where we'll see all schemes, flagship schemes. I will just tell you which schemes you should read and which schemes you should not read. All flagship schemes from 1950s to 2022, all schemes. And we'll do after micro, one class will have, please note it down, eco survey and budget. I am making notes for you people, eco survey and budget, and you have to just read only 2-3 pages of notes will be there. 101% if 1 or 2 questions will come from this notes only. No need to watch different videos, different PDF and all there are in the market. Please don't waste time. One exclusive class I will take after micro, and class will be day after tomorrow. Most probably it will be of 1.5 hours. There I will be dealing these 2 points. Core public finance, where I will be telling you budget making process. Today's I cannot do because of paucity of time. Budget making process, this budget management, public debt, and other things related to Indian public finance in the 1 hour. And second hour 30 minutes will of new economic policy, that is LPG, which will be also assisted by schemes. Schemes में hardly 10 minutes लगेंगे. And for schemes I will also try to send notes. So see how schemes they will ask, part A, part B. So they will ask like NABARD कब बना था? When NABARD came into form? Anyone? 1982. SBI came 1995. SEBI came 1988. So you should know everything. IDBI came, Exim came. When did Exim came? When did IDBI came? So everything you should know. So this list I will give you. Don't worry. PDF I will scan and all. So चलो फिर meet you in the next class. मैं most probably day after tomorrow. If any urgent comes, I will text you, and next class will be of 1.5 hours. And Gautam has raised. Yeah, Gautam, if you have any doubt, you can ask. And please make. Gautam, please ask. Read books. Did you read all the books? H.L. Ahuja ka both books. There is no. Notes are not sufficient. Books. No, there is no substitute of books. And whatever topic I am telling you in the class, that lectures you must do. And I also suggest you do books. Like just I told you should read this books. If you cannot read, they're amazing and all. So this book I have sent. Trust me, all questions will be from this book. So please read books. Notes you don't know, na? You make notes. How you can say that note is enough? Got it? But there is everything in the notes, so please follow note books. हाँ, if books के बाद भी आपके problem solve नहीं हो रहे हैं, then I will tell you why you are unable to solve the problem. ठीक है? Because I know 80 to 90% questions were from the books, and whatever topics I suggested you separately, I also tell you that this chapter from this book you should read, and it should be supplemented by lecture. Trust me, nobody can stop you from getting good marks. And after one more class we'll start microeconomics with basics. और माइक्रो के क्लास जो हैं नियरली माइक्रो के होंगे आपके 8 to 10 क्लास, 8 to 9 क्लास. We'll do basics numericals also, diagram also, and derivation also in microeconomics, because microeconomics little bit complex and very large number of questions used to come from there. So anybody has any doubt from today's class? And हाँ, homework आप लोग लिख लें. होमवर्क H.L. Ahuja का चैप्टर नंबर 64 और 63 आई विल लेट यू नो इन द ग्रुप, दैट एक्सटर्नलिटी एंड पब्लिक गुड एंड मोरल हैजार्ड वाला चैप्टर. एंड इसमें आप लोग कर लेंगे न्यू इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स 1991. दैट्स इट. एंड इफ टाइम अलाउज प्लीज गो थ्रू वंस विद दिस बुक, दिस उड़ान वाला बुकलेट आई सेंट इन द ग्रुप. दिस वन, दिस इज फॉर 21. हाउएवर ऑल द कंटेक्स्ट एंड द थियरी इज सेम. क्लियर? नेक्स्ट क्लास आई विल. प्लीज गौतम. नहीं मिल गई है. आई अगेन रिसेंट, जस्ट आई रिसेंट. आई पिन. जरूरत है ना? नहीं, काफी कुछ नहीं होता है. देयर इज हार्ड कंपटीशन. डू इज ऑल्सो देयर. इफ यू रीड मोर यू मे गेट गुड मार्क्स. इफ यू रीड लेस you may get less marks. Got it? There is nothing called kafi. You should have killer approach. As much breath you have, put your all effort so that at the end you don't have to say, oh wish I could have done this, oh wish I could have done this. I am telling you again and again. Sorry, let me turn on this. I am again telling again many a times, even after you come exam, from 90% questions are coming from the books, exact books. Salvatore, Ahuja, Ramesh Singh, direct copy paste. So why we should not read books? Tell me the reason. Got it? If you focus only on previous notes, or if you focus on something shortcut, you may not be able to solve 100% question. So if time allows, focus on short notes, what I suggest you, then focus on lectures, and after book reads. These three are mandatory to score very high in CUET, because competition is this time very tough because of DU things. ठीक है आस्था? तो आपको टाइम के अनुसार करना होगा. फर्स्ट लेक्चर को करें, व्हाट टॉपिक्स आई टेल दैट यू डू, देन यू गो लिटिल डीप. प्लीज डोंट लुक फॉर द शॉर्टकट. ओके देन संतोष, रोजा, चलिए गुड नाइट.